From Terre Haute, Indiana to Baton Rouge, where he took on some of the best defenses in college football as LSU's starting quarterback, then to a Super Bowl champion his rookie year, backing up Tom Brady with the 2018 New England Patriots, now leading the 4-2 Michigan Panthers. Welcome to Springball Boulevard, Danny Etling. Danny, thanks for joining us today, man.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for such the welcome and intro.
Of course, and I got to get it out of the way right off the top. Have you seen that roast of Tom Brady yet?
I actually have not seen it. No,
Yeah.
I've been busy. We're grinding, getting ready for DC, so I haven't watched too much Netflix.
Yeah, definitely download that for the plane ride. I think you're going to enjoy it, seeing all your teammates back together in one room. I know that's something that they haven't been able to do with how busy they've
Yeah.
been. So it was really cool to see all those guys. What was it like, playing with Brady, Gronk, Edelman? I mean, just all the cast of characters, Coach Belichick. Like, how
Mhm.
special was that in your life?
It was extremely special. Because that was my rookie year, so I didn't really know any different. I thought that's how it was always done, like that kind of work ethic and that level of intensity, to try and win a championship. So that was a really fun time for me to really learn about the game of football and how to be a pro and how to prepare. So it was a really special time for me and made special memories. And, I was lucky that I got to spend my rookie year there and learn so much football that's continued to, I think really have me progress along and have a nice long pro career because I learned how to prepare. I learned the basics and fundamentals of football. So, I was lucky to continue to keep making teams and keep competing hard. And I really credit that to that first year and really laying the groundwork and foundation for myself.
Yeah, and obviously that documentary on the dynasty got a lot of traction, and now the roast is just the biggest thing on Netflix. So it goes to show you the magnitude of Tom Brady and Bill Belichick, and the two forces that they are, where they're going to get eyeballs anywhere they go. So it's been really cool to have you be part of that, and then also in the UFL as well. I wanted to talk a little bit about kind of the long and winding road it's been the last 6 years of your pro career, 7 different NFL teams, but now you found an opportunity here with Michigan. When you got that nod to start in week 5 against Memphis, does that moment feel bigger or like more special now that, you're here and it's not the NFL preseason? Or have you been kind of programmed to play the same way, prepare the same way, no matter what uniform you're in?
I think there's a large extent where you're just preparing the same way, no matter what, especially because you don't know when your opportunity is going to come on any of those stops. I could have had an opportunity where maybe one of these great quarterbacks I've gotten the opportunity to back up goes down, and then suddenly, you're in or you're up, and you just want to take advantage of your opportunity. So every week, even when I was at 3, I just prepared as if I was going to be the guy, if I was going to start. And then so, when you come here and there's already some established guys playing and starting, and they've got some momentum, and your role is to go and be the backup and continue to try to strive to be ready when your opportunity comes. It was no different for me. And really in the grand scheme of things, every single preseason game felt like it was make or break because if you didn't play well, you were going to get cut. And then, they always say it's always about competition, but really the only person they're competing with in that quarterback room is the third quarterback or the backup quarterback. And they're like always trying to have someone replace you. So it's a competitive industry and it's tough to do. And, I continually was able to play well in the preseason and play well with my opportunities. So this is kind of the same as that. I just try to go out there and do the best I can and have a lot of fun and bring some leadership and charisma and just have a blast playing football. And then everything else takes care of itself.
Yeah, and as a big fan of NFL preseason and being a UFL, XFL, USFL show, we like to watch a lot of that to see who are the guys
Mhm.
that are going to be part of the UFL. Who are the guys that are just right there. You were a pleasure to watch in the preseason with New England and Green Bay, and it was a lot of fun. But I do want to talk more about the Panthers. This team, it just seems to be magical. It's like the cardiac cats all over again with some of these down to the wire finishes and the good television that you guys are putting on. But somehow your offense has kind of been able to stay out of the spotlight because your kicker is taking all the headlines and all the attention off you guys. But that offense is dropping points. And what has made the offense kind of better every week after kind of stumbling out of the gate and now dropping 30, I think 3 out of the last 5 weeks?
Yeah, I think we've just continually gotten better. We've improved. We didn't let any negative outings kind of deter us. I think that we've started to find our identity a little bit, And, I don't really care who gets the credit as long as we keep getting these wins. If it's our kicker, if it's our special teams, if it's our defense, at the end of the day, we just want to win games. Who cares how many points we score? But we know that it's our job to go out there and put a lot of points on the board and help out. So, we were really happy. We moved the ball well last week, and luckily our special teams continually was consistent. So, as we continue to find our identity and our playmakers and continue to find what we want to do really well down the stretch here, we really like our chances, and we're going to keep getting better.
Yeah, Jake seems to love the spotlight, right? He's real cocky, real flashy. Yeah, right, right. Like,
No,
yeah,
his
here's a
kicks
guy
are
who just
flashy. It's
loves
not that.
attention, right?
No, we don't care. I don't think he wants it, but
No, not at
he
all.
60-yard kicks. So it's like, what are you
Yeah,
gonna do?
yeah, that's been really cool to watch. And you got DC this week, so that means going up against that Greg Williams defense, who's also
Mhm.
coming off a pretty strong win. We talked to AJ McCarron a lot, and he always speaks highly of Greg Williams and that defense, and how it's so differently called than a lot of the other defenses you see in the UFL. What's the focus in film this week, and how do you prepare for some of the things that Greg Williams will throw at you that come out of nowhere?
Yeah, I think you just need to stick to your rules. I mean, I think uh, if you stick to your rules, everyone's kind of on the same page, and it doesn't matter what a defense is going to throw at you. You're able to react and make good decisions that we're all on the same page with, as opposed to searching for, is he going to blitz in this situation, or are they going to bring this pressure? And you just need to trust what you see and see what you see, and read the indicators, and just you know play smart football. So I think if we can just focus on that, that's kind of what you do when you see these kind of defenses that are really talented and have some creativity. And especially with someone who's as accomplished as he is as a defense coordinator, you have a lot of respect for coaches like that, and a lot of the players that they have. So we just got to stick to our rules, and continue to make sure that we're prepared, same way we have been these past weeks.
How much of an advantage does it give you to be able to get in a lot of those NFL camps and learn a million different offenses? Does that all feel like it eventually becomes the same, where as long as you know kind of what the concept is, the terminology doesn't matter? Or is it difficult to keep bouncing in between these offenses and having to, work with a new OC every year?
I will say I would much rather stay with one offense and
Right.
just keep progressing with it. Like when I first got to New England, Tom had been there for like 20 years, it felt like. So he knew his offense inside and out. He was like, he knew why they called something this, or why they do this for this protection. And like I was just getting there, just learning it all, like drinking through a fire hose. So obviously it's better if you can grow in an offense, but my advantage has been learning 7 offenses in the NFL. Has been like, you get to see the way that people view the game differently. You get to, take what you do like, or take the way that somebody else reads something. The hard part though is that you have to forget about that, because suddenly, a new coach wants you to read it this way, or they run something like mesh routes a little different, and you have to read it a certain way. So forgetting the offenses sometimes can be tough, because it like trickles up in your memory when the stress gets kind of high in games at oftentimes. So, the quicker you can forget some offenses, the better, and then just let it come back when you really need it.
Absolutely. And diving deeper into you guys offensively, and talking about Marcel Belfay a little bit. I mean, he's been able
Mhm.
to have you guys going. Number 2 in rushing, number 3 in scoring, number 3 in third down conversion. Like this is a top 3 offense. And what makes Marcel special? Because in my research on him coming in, it seemed like he ran more of an air raid, a pass heavy scheme, but you guys are running the ball really well.
Yeah, and that's the thing is Coach Marcel. He just really understands what the game needs in that moment. I mean, we can throw the ball with the best of them. I think we can run the ball with the best of them. We just kind of are taking what the defense gives us. And I don't have an ego about it. I don't think our running backs do, or receivers don't. We all just want to win games.
Yeah.
So we don't care if we throw it in, run it in. We prefer to not kick it in, but if we have to, we do that too. So there's no egos there, and I think that he has a great mind on how to attack the game in a lot of different facets, so that whatever we need for that week, or whatever we see in game, we can really get to that, and try and win the game that way and produce offensively.
Yeah, I bet that's strange for you as a quarterback when you have the athletes you guys have at kick return that are going to take it back, usually near midfield, if not across it. And now you're already in field goal range. So it's just like, like don't go backwards. It's been crazy. The starting field position in this league compared to the NFL has been pretty awesome. And in your perspective, what's that like to kind of start sometimes in plus territory half the game?
No, it's great. Unfortunately, last week I felt like we actually only got one, but right when we needed it,
Right.
in plus field goal range. So it definitely is an advantage if you can get the kicking game rolling and you can get the ball in the 50. Now it's like, you're one explosive away from really being in striking distance of scoring a touchdown or really putting some pressure on the defense. So it just shows you how important special teams is. And this is really a three-faceted game when you look at the United Football League, because if you can get that starting field position at the 45 or 50-yard line, I mean, you're really one first down away, especially when we have a kicker like us, from really putting points on the board. So it's been really interesting to see it play out. And I think it's more fun for fans too, because it puts so much more emphasis on that special teams play, where a lot of times it's kind of in the NFL in the past. It'll be fun to see it now this next year, but in the past it's been kind of like touchbacks, or you just not as many returns, and it's almost like you can go leave and make a snack after a touchdown scored.
Yeah, and when you have a kicker who could hit from 65 plus, that's less Hail Marys that you have to throw. Helps the stats out
I'm
a
all
little
for
bit.
it, yeah.
Right. It's just like I saw Matt Colburn slide at the end of the half there, and I'm thinking, wow, that must be nice. Just get him on the field. He's all right. He's going to be fine from 60. Danny, before we get you out of here, I saw some recent news that was interesting to me. Alex Magoo, who won a championship and MVP last year with the Stallions and then ended up in Green Bay, being moved to receiver
Oh, really?
as a natural quarterback, right? So
I didn't know that, yeah.
yeah. So this is something that you've dealt with, not only being on the Packers for some time, but being moved to receiver in New England in your second
Yeah.
year. When you were switched, was there a fear that, like, okay, if I say yes to this to stay in the NFL, this is going to be my permanent position? Or did it kind of just motivate you more to know, it's the Patriots, I got to grind it out, but I will be a quarterback again someday?
That's an excellent question, because in the moment, the toughest thing was being in shape enough to play receiver,
Yeah.
because I had showed up the day one of camp, and Bill and I had some discussions about maybe switching or maybe helping out in some rooms here and there, more of like a Taysom Hill role. And then next thing I knew, like they're like, "Hey, can you help out with receiver today?" I was like, "Sure." And then they wanted me to meet with the receivers. And then next thing I knew, I was only playing receiver. And I was like, "Oh boy, this is tough." And like, I didn't really have the release packages you needed to go up against guys like Stephon Gilmore. So it wasn't exactly my favorite month of my career. Uh, but I think we both had understanding, and he gave me the opportunity to leave and go play quarterback for Atlanta. And I tried to stay, in shape with my quarterbacking, but it was definitely a weird feeling after playing receiver for like a month and a half. And then like 2 days later, I was playing quarterback for the Falcons in a whole new offense in a preseason game. And it was just like, wow, this is a lot different. So I was happy I played well enough to make the squad there. But yeah, it was an interesting transition. And I think, hopefully him doing it in OTAs will give him a better opportunity to really develop as a receiver and give him a, fighting chance there when it goes to training camp and they're making cuts.
Yeah, to be asked to do that at the highest level when you never did it in college. I don't know if you played it at wide receiver at all in high school. I'm assuming
I
no.
did
So
not know. I've
yeah,
only played quarterback.
right.
But I was a good
That's
athlete. I knew what I was doing, but it was the conditioning. I wish I would have had more time
right.
to at least try to acclimate. I think I still would have wanted to play quarterback, because I believe I'm a great quarterback. But
Right.
it was an interesting experience, and it gave me a good outlook. I think I don't yell at receivers as much during 2-minute drill, because I have a better understanding of what they go through, running back to back post and then having to run a comeback. So you're like, oh, I don't
Yeah.
know, like,
Right.
but I have a better understanding, and I hope for the best for him. I hope he is able to really transition into that and create more of a role for himself to play, because obviously Jordan's the guy there, and there's only one quarterback playing, so you might as well try and get on the field best way you can. And it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, and you've heard about a lot of quarterbacks that, maybe push back on that and say, no thanks, like I'm a quarterback. But like in your situation, how do you tell Bill Belichick and Tom Brady, no thanks, I'm a quarterback? Like you got
He
to do
made a
what you
good he
got
made a
to
good
do.
point. I mean, he was like, "Listen, Tom
Yeah.
Brady's our quarterback. You're not No one's seeing the field except for Tom if everything's going good. So
Right.
if you want to go and help us out, maybe you could play some other positions too."
Yeah.
I think unfortunately, I think I went from the most athletic quarterback in the room to the least athletic wide receiver. So it was like, I think I'm better as like a switchblade kind of role, maybe
Yeah.
not so much only a receiver or only this. Like maybe
Yeah.
I could help out in other ways. But yeah, it
Yeah,
was
as
it
a
was interesting.
DC fan, I had to do the full research on you just in case you do split out wide and they bring another quarterback in. We're not going to be
Well,
fooled
I
by
can catch
that
it if I
this
need
week.
to. If they
Yeah.
want me to do it, I'll do it.
Yeah, you've been a hell of a quarterback this year. 2-0 as a starter now, looking to keep it rolling. That is Danny Etling. They'll be on the road at Audi Field in DC, noon kick Sunday on ESPN. Danny, it's a great to catch up with you. Really appreciate your time, and we'll catch up with you again this weekend.
Awesome. Can't wait to talk to you guys again. See ya.
Thanks, Danny.